What's up guys, and welcome to another vlog. I had some pretty decent feedback from the last one, so I thought I'd keep these in the rotation to get a bit more of, I guess, some personal insights as opposed to the really cinematic gym edits and such. So on that note, bodybuilding updates first. 1 day away from completing the 3rd week of my diet, and that means tomorrow will be 13 weeks out of my show. And things have been running very smoothly so far. I think this has probably been the most perfectly executed 3 weeks of dieting that I've ever done in my life. It's really been copy and paste, and everything's been super accurate. No refeeds, no cheats, no swaps or anything like that. And sure enough, results have been good as well. My heaviest weight before starting the diet, which was after a flight, was mid 121 kilos. And this morning I was 107.6. So there's been a good amount of weight coming off. I'd probably say my true weight before the diet would probably be like 119 minus like some gunk and water. So that's still, a good 12 kilos of loss in 3 weeks, which I'm pretty happy about, and mostly happy about that the body has just been so responsive. I was very, worried after my injury, and then fully getting back into training. It just felt like my body was not responding at all. But I would say the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've felt healthy. The body has started being really responsive again, and I haven't had to make any calorie drops or cardio increases, and the weight's still coming off. It was actually a new low this morning, which is nice. So the deficit is still clearly there, because at the end of 3 weeks, you're not just playing with water and glycogen at that point. You can be sure you're digging into some fat. Feeling a lot more athletic and healthier and more mobile than I was at 120, that's for sure. Visually, I don't like the look of my physique, just because, I'm not lean yet, and the glycogen and the muscle fullness is significantly deflated. But I always find this kind of happens in the first phase of prep. It might last like sort of 4 or 5 weeks, where you start your diet sort of full blown, like you are fluffy, but your muscles also fully maxed out like a water balloon about to explode. And then as the first couple of weeks of dieting goes by, you haven't really dug too much in the fat yet, so you're still kind of body fat's kind of higher, but the deflation in the muscle size really happens quite rapidly, so you can kind of look just as fat but smaller after your first few weeks of dieting, which can be a little bit demoralizing. But I do find there's like a crossover period where somewhere for me around like the 4, 5, 6 week mark of dieting, where I actually start seeing visual improvements in my physique and start liking the way I look, as opposed to just feeling like I'm deflating and getting smaller all the time. Food is high, so over 500 grams of carbs per day, and cardio is only at 30 minutes with some steps with Ryu. So we're really strong starting point and have a lot of room to move there. I think 13 weeks out, last prep I was already down to sort of 3,000 calories, eating a hell of a lot more, and clearly it's okay, because I am dropping weight every 3 days, so I'll run with it as long as I can. Obviously the higher you can keep food, the longer, while still getting your progress checkpoints, the better. Gives you a lot more runway and room to move. At the pointy end of prep, once you're starting to get down to the like 2,000 calorie mark, that's just with someone that's carrying 100 kilos of body weight or something like that. That's really going to be compromising your ability to hold tissue, perform in the gym, and it's going to do a pretty heavy knock to your well-being as well. And once your well-being fades away in prep, that has a sort of cascade of negative flow-on effects that take place. So try to avoid that, to the best of my ability. We will absolutely do. I think one thing I mentioned that's going to be different about this prep is I'm not blasting out of the gate full max on everything like I did last prep. You know, basically from day one, I was like, all right, let's crank the food down. Let's crank up the cardio as hard as I can, and let's do like wild workouts with crazy volume and intensifiers from day one. And I'm mentally strong, so fuck it, I'll just hold on all the way till the end of prep. But evaluating a little bit more, thinking through it, and I'm a little bit more focused on not rushing the process or the progress this time, and just focusing on getting a little bit better day by day, you know, a little bit better day by day, instead of like trying to really max out or squeeze out the progress from each day, because I do think that can lead to burnout now. It can potentially shorten the length of your competitive season, and I'm supremely motivated to chase after this pro card as long as I need to, and I'm giving myself the rest of this year, you know, so we're only in sort of mid-ish, endish to the wire now. A year that might still mean that there's 5 months of dieting ahead. So I'm not trying to throw the kitchen sink at it all at once. You know, just use one tool at a time, and save the other tools for when progress is stalling, which it hasn't really yet. Of course, it's going to come at some point, when probably in the next couple of weeks or so. But then I'll just engage another tool, turn the dial a little bit, instead of turning all dials on full max from day one like I did last rec. And that's doing it this way is honestly it's meaning things are a lot less stressful for me. There's a lot less pressure on myself day to day, you know, and when you do apply that extreme pressure in a bodybuilding scenario, which has to be on like 24 hours a day, it does wear you out, and it gets to the point of exhaustion. Now I'm 100% on my diet. I do not miss a cardio minute, train to failure every set, but I still know that I can push harder if need be, but I'm just taking a step-by-step approach. I'm not trying to rush things, just focusing, like I said, small improvements stacked up over time, and not pushing harder than I need to, so that physically I'm in a good place, and more importantly, mentally I'm keeping some battery charge in there for when I'll likely need it in the back end of prep. But overall, I feel quite fresh now. I'd say maybe there's been like 1 or 2 hard days since starting the diet, but the rest have flowed quite smooth. Another positive lately is that Irfan and Sher, 2 IFBB pros and 2 of my closest friends, have moved from Singapore to Bali. So we've got our training schedules linked up, and us 3 are training hard. We've had about 3 or 4 sessions now, and they've all been really, really solid. So we're all leveling up in that respect and pushing each other hard with the training, because Irfan 15 weeks out from the Korea Pro Monsters Gym, and Sher is planning to take on a show in November. So we'll all be in prep. We're all working towards big goals. You know, for them it's Olympia qualifications, and for me it's securing that pro card. So, you know, training's of a really high level focus, high level intensity, and it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, man. A hell of a lot more fun than training by myself. You know, when the team is showing up for the shift, you know, everyone really gets to work. Mentally wise, I'm feeling really good. You know, that Thailand was the start of sort of bringing me back to life, I guess, and that positivity and that momentum has continued to carry through now with Irfan and Sher being here and putting that focus on our preps and working hard together to really unlock our best potential. I think Sher and Irfan would agree that they haven't quite nailed their 100% yet, and we're giving ourselves a challenge to reach that this year, and myself included. I don't think I've shown my 100% yet, and that's what I'm determined to do this year, and just making it a byproduct of small perfect efforts every day without deviation compiled over the long term, and I have confidence that for the long enough time, you know, it'll compound into something that I and we will be super proud of. And then in other life stuff, I've got my Bali camp in, I think, 5 weeks time. 20 people coming from around the world to train, eat, live, chat, explore Bali together. So I'm excited for that. Most of my time is focused on the gym. There's a lot happening at the gym. We are predicted to open in December. We've got a lot of equipment that's already arrived and is arriving, so we're starting to unload that into the gym in the coming weeks, which is exciting, and really starting to get the interior details happening, which that's when it really starts getting fun, and you can you start seeing the design and the colors and all those things, the finishing touches. When they start happening, it gets really fun. But most of my time is really just shared between training, my client work, and working on the gym. So I'm trying to keep myself with a narrow focus, not too many things on my plate at once, because for a lot of people that would already be a lot on their plate, but I am guilty of trying to do a million things at once. But I think I've got my priorities really well in mind, which is build my best physique to give myself the best chance to secure the pro card this year, coach my athletes to the best of my ability so that they can tap into their potential and reach their goals, and build the best gym in Asia. That's my three focus points right now. But life is feeling better. I feel like I have a very clear purpose. I have a lot of drive. I know what I need to do, and I'm excited for what's to come, which I think is, that's really what people need in their life, is a reason to get out of bed, and a desire for what tomorrow might bring. And I feel like I'm in a state where I'm excited for what tomorrow will bring, what next week will bring, and what next month and next year will bring. There's a lot of exciting things to come. Nothing is guaranteed, which is why I have to work hard for it, and I have to work hard every day for it. But I'm determined to do so, and make this 112-day mission that I set for myself, 112 victories, or 112-day kill streak, as I've been calling it in my journal. But definitely enough of a gym life random update. If you guys do want to know about more stuff, I'm happy to answer in the comments. I'm a little bit more willing to engage in comments on YouTube versus Instagram, because I appreciate you guys spending the time to listen for 10, 20, 30 minutes or whatever, as opposed to people just skimming for half a second and maybe giving a double tap. But we have a pool day on the roster. I think Irfan and Shirt are in for sure. We might have another local guy joining us, but we would see. I'll try to get some training clips for you. I'm about to go shower up and get into my work shift now with my client work, and I'll do my best to document a bit and show you what a day in the life looks like 13 weeks out. Hey Darren, super solid, man. I think I remember saying last week, another 3-4 days and we should be at cruising altitude, and likely by the end of the week we'll be basically right where we left off, and sure enough, that 2 and a bit pounds has come right back on planned as on schedule. So I think I read the play pretty well on that one, and I had it. I was really certain that the little step back was going to be very, very minor in the grand scheme of things. Now I know the photos are a little bit different this week with positioning, but I actually think they're quite a bit more flattering. So yeah, perhaps being a little bit harder on yourself with the usual spot, but I prefer it that way. But I absolutely think when mentally strong and physically in a great spot, by the protective effects of body fat, that's a fantastic time to push. All right, so hopefully that answers all the questions. I'm well wrapped that we're back to where we were, if not a little bit beyond it, and now we can keep marching forward again. So it is time for meal 2. I didn't explain what meal 1 was. That was 10 egg whites, 50 grams of capsicum, and 420 grams of potato. I had been doing the cream of rice, but I found that after cardio, lately it had been going through me really quick, and I was having kind of like hypo symptoms an hour later. So I'm experimenting just with a bit of a slower digesting form of carbohydrate for meal 1, with a bit of fiber there, just to try to slow the uptake a little bit. And today was the first day trying that and haven't felt any of those hyper symptoms. So far, so good. And for the last couple of hours, I've just been doing my client work and handling a few little bits and bobs about the gym. And on the gym, we have undefeated football jerseys coming soon. This is actually just a sample, but it came out super sick. So that will be coming to Koshiro very soon. I know Koshiro's been a little bit quiet lately, but I'm really motivated to get that going, and a huge thanks to the people who have supported by making an order so far. Now, meal 2 is ready to roll. So from Pump again, I just got some of the grilled chicken. This is 180 grams. And then a pretty hefty carbohydrate meal for pre-workout. We have 120 grams dry weight cream of rice with 140 grams of grilled banana. Now, this is the new undefeated cream of rice chocolate cookie flavor. Absolutely elite. Absolutely elite. Honestly, it tastes, we just nailed it. The flavoring and the formulation is so damn good. I've tried Trained by JP, I've tried a few of the other top brands, and no bullshit, this is the best one. So yeah, we're selling it at Pump at the moment in Bali, but if you are wanting to like stock any or make a big order, message me and I'll see what I can do. But at the moment we're not selling any sort of like 1 or 2 bag orders at the moment, just because it's not price effective. We end up for just losing money, but working on a better distribution plan in the future. So a good 125-ish grams of carbs in this meal. Now we're about an hour away from training now, so allows a good amount of time for this to digest. Super easy digesting meal anyway, so it's quite light on the stomach. And then yeah, we'll probably see next clip at the gym.
Been by the dogs, stacking the taller than we had it. Fucking with patience, so puff, sit, nigga. I'm rolling the zoo as I hop on the supposed to be spying me, you got inspired with you. My niggas just should give a fuck about the loot. Been by the dogs, stacking the taller than we had it. Fucking with patience, so puff, it. I'm rolling the zoo as I hop on the supposed to be spying me, you got inspired with you. My niggas just should give a fuck about the loot.
Yeah, let me tell you the truth. I don't do this for loot. She came for a root. She came by the tubes. Got a bag in the boot. In my Saint Laurent boots. Run it up through the roof. And my style is a proof. And I came with a cruise. We ain't taking a truce. If we aiming to choose. Bada bing, bada boom. I run with the dogs. Run with the dogs. They breaking the law. Money involved. I'm on a mission playing Call of Duty.
Add more.
Lagi.
Oh, fuck. What do you call it?
Come on.
How many? Oh. 9. 3.
No number, come on.
3. 2. Last one.
Trading with Jackson, know how many, bro. know how many.
My phone ringing, that's the Call of Duty. Just wanna have fun, money make I don't judge Judy. Just wanna get some, wanna get funds. I don't love Judy.
All the way.
Give a fuck about the loot, give a fuck about the loot.
All the way back.
Been by the dogs, stacking the taller than we had it. Fucking with patience, so puff, sit, nigga. I'm rolling the zoo as I hop on the supposed to be spying me, you got inspired with you. My niggas just should give a fuck about the loot. Been by the dogs, stacking the taller than we had it. Fucking with patience, so puff, it. I'm rolling the zoo as I hop on the
What's up, guys? So it's a few hours into the future, and I'll do my best to sort of recount the day's proceedings. Had a really solid full session with Shirt Irfan and one of the local boys, Ricky, men's physique competitor as well. I get a little bit scared training with 4 people, but the intensity was actually really solid, minimal chat. It was just, you go, I go, next guy goes, next girl goes. It was really good, and definitely a good deposit in the bank. So I was happy about that. I left the gym feeling victorious of sorts, and I know it was a good session because I sort of came home after and I kind of cashed out. So we put in good work today, and afterwards I had my post-workout meal, which was 120 grams again of the undefeated cream of rice with 50 grams of the salted caramel bulk nutrients whey. And for those who are pissed that the discount link isn't there, the discount code isn't working anymore, I'm pissed as well. It's very inconvenient, but I'll make sure there's a link in the description of this video, which is basically like the new system and the new way where you can still get the discounted bulk subs, through my affiliation, I guess. Then came over from training, and Sher and Irfan came over. We kind of have this nice little routine going at the moment where we train our asses off, eat, and then kind of hop in the couch and watch a show. I'm a big believer in doing like the hardest things in your day first, when you have the most mental resolve. So I do my cardio, then I do my client work, then I do my training, and then when all of those things are done, it's nice to sort of decompress and relax and recover. I think that's supremely important for anyone, but especially athletes, recouping and recharging before the next stage. So yeah, we hung around for a bit and watched June 2, fucking long movie, kind of complicated and not really any resolution. So visually very brilliant, but I would give it like maybe a 7. It was okay. And in that I had a meal which was 120 grams of rice cakes with 180 grams of chicken, 50 grams of asparagus. Those nerds have gone home, and I'm about to have my 5th meal, which is again 180 grams of chicken breast from Pump with 50 grams of asparagus, no sauce, no nothing, and then 420 grams of the Japanese sweet potato fries from Pump as well. So that'll be a wrap up for today's vlog. It's always weird to me sort of shutting these down because it, I don't know, kind of makes me feel like my life is enormously boring, and I feel like it might be garbage to watch. But if you have made it this far, I thank you. Plans for me rest of the night is just downtime. I've found that if I do work in the evening on prep, I can't sleep. My mind is really racing, and sleep and prep is hard at the best of times. But when you're wired, there's some nights that I might only get a couple of hours sleep. That's how bad it gets. But I found completely being off the phones, being off emails, and even like not watching something that's very mentally strenuous, like from TV and movies, helps, because sometimes the show can be so full on, that wires you, and it can make it hard to rest up before sleeping. Also, with my last sort of TV and movie choices before sleeping, I try to watch something that's a little bit more simpler, and it can sort of help me get into a bit more of like a rest, decompress sort of state, and then that tends to be a pretty nice transition into sleep. I'm in fat loss mode now, so I'm peeing a hell of a lot through the night, but I do find that when sort of 11:30 comes around, I'm ready to shut eye, which is dick. Right, 13 weeks out tomorrow. Things will start cooking up soon. I'm excited for the physique to take shape. It hasn't really quite taken shape yet, but I know it's coming, and importantly, I just feel very confident with the approach that I have. The consistency and the execution has been flawless. I feel like there's a really good rhythm in place, a really good routine in place. I've got good people around me now with Sher and Irfan, where they push me and I push them, and we're all getting the best out of each other. And with all of those elements, progress and improvement is damn well secured. So thank you again, guys. I'll see you in the next one.